Good morning, children. Now we'll study about the nature of CX bond. This X for the halogen for fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Since halogen atoms are more electronegative than carbon atom, the CX bond appreciable polar in nature because the halogen is more electronegative, and that's why it attracts a shared pair of electrons towards itself, and that's why this bond is a polar bond. The carbon atoms bear a partial positive charge, whereas the halogen atom bears a partial negative charge. And then you can see here the carbon is having the delta positive, delta for the partial charge, and halogen has partial negative charge. So this shows the polarity of the CX bond. The atomic size of halogen atom increases as we go down the group from top to bottom in the periodic table that you already know. When we move in a group from top to bottom, there is increase in the atomic size. Thus, fluorine atom is the smallest and iodine atom the largest. Therefore, CX bond length increases from carbon to fluorine to carbon to iodine, or carbon versus iodine. As the bond length increases, the bond enthalpy decreases. That means the less energy is required to break the bond. Thus, the bond enthalpies of CX bond decreases from CF bond to CI bond. Dipole moment depends not only on the polarity of the bond but also on the length. The dipole moment of CX bonds are in the order: highest for carbon versus chlorine, then CF bond, then CBr, and then CI. Now this is on the basis of the dipole moment values, that is on the basis of the size and distance between the two atoms. A CF bond is having the bond enthalpy 452 kilojoule per mole and the bond length is 139, and that's why its dipole moment is 1.847. In case of chlorine, the bond length is 178 picometer and the bond enthalpy is 351 due to increase in atomic size, and bond dipole become 1.860. So the bond dipole for CCl bond is greater than CF bond. And for the other atoms, as we go down, there is a decrease in electronegativity, and that's why decrease in the polarity of the bond. So in this way we can explain the nature of the CX bond where in the haloalkane. Now we'll study about the physical properties of haloalkane and haloarenes. The first property is the melting and boiling points. Pure haloalkanes are colorless. However, bromoalkanes and iodoalkanes develop color when exposed to light and stored for longer period. So, on the basis of this, we can say the bromoalkanes and the iodoalkanes develop some color when they are exposed to light. Now, the first property that you will study here, the melting and boiling point. For same alkyl group, the boiling point of haloalkanes are in the order RCl, then RBr, then Ri. It is because with the increase in size, the mass of halogen atom, the magnitude halogen atom increase and the magnitude of van der Waals forces of attraction increases. So as there is increase in the atomic size and increase in the mass, there is increase in the magnitude of van der Waals forces of attraction. Now among increase methyl chloride, methyl bromide, ethyl chloride, and some chlorofluoromethanes are gases at room temperature. Higher members are liquid or solids. Halogen compounds are polar in nature, that you have already studied about the nature of the CH bond. Due to greater polarity as well as higher molecular mass as compared to the parent hydrocarbon, the intermolecular forces of attraction, dipole-dipole and van der Waals are stronger in the halogen derivatives. That is why the boiling points of haloalkanes are higher than those of the hydrocarbons of comparable molecular mass. The boiling points of isomeric haloalkanes decrease with increase in the branching. So as branching increases or the molecule get the spherical size, then there is decrease in the surface area, so there is decrease in the magnitude of van der Waals forces. So this can be explained on the basis of this example. Here you can see this is 1-bromobutane and its boiling point is 375. For 2-bromobutane, that is having the branching here, then its boiling point is 364 Kelvin. And for 2-bromo-2-methyl-butane is having the 346. So as there is increase in the branching, there is a decrease in the surface area of the molecule. So there is decrease in the magnitude of the van der Waals forces, and there is decrease in the boiling points. Boiling points of isomeric dihalogen halobenzenes are very nearly the same. However, the para-isomers are high melting as compared to their ortho and para-isomer. It is due to symmetry of para-isomers that fits in the crystal lattice better as compared to ortho and meta-isomer. So the many times this question is why para-isomer has higher melting point than ortho or meta-isomer. So we can explain on the basis of the symmetry of the para-isomer, that is having the symmetrical structure. So there is a good packing when it is present in the solid state. Due to good packing, it has higher melting point. Next property is the density. Bromo, iodo and polychloro derivatives of hydrocarbons are heavier than water. They are having the higher density. The density increases with increase in number of carbon atoms, halogen atoms, and atomic mass of the halogen atoms. So in this way there is increase in the density. In chloropropane, bromopropane and iodo-propane, then iodo-propane is having the highest density, that is 1.595. The bromopropane has 1.489 and then the chloropropane has 1.336. Now we will study. Next property is the solubility. Although polar in nature, alkyl halides are insoluble in water because they are not able to form hydrogen bonds with water molecules. In CH bond there is a polarity, but the chlorine, bromine, iodine cannot form hydrogen bond, and that's why they are insoluble in water. As a result, the energy required to overcome the forces of attraction between haloalkane molecule and that required to break the hydrogen bonds between water molecules is more than the energy released when new attractions are set up between haloalkanes and water molecules. So, because when we mix the haloalkane in the water, then in the water molecule hydrogen bonds are present. So, haloalkane should break the hydrogen bond. So, energy which is required to break the hydrogen bond is less than the new attraction, that is water versus haloalkane is weaker, and that's why energy cannot be compensated, and then they are insoluble in water. However, they are soluble in the organic solvent such as alcohol, benzene, etc. And this is because the new intermolecular attractive forces between alkyl halide and solvent molecules have almost same strength as once being broken in the separate alkyl halide and solvent molecules. So in this way we can explain the solubility of haloalkanes. They are insoluble in water, but they are soluble in the organic solvent. Now we'll study the chemical properties. You know the haloalkanes are highly polar in nature, and due to the polarity, haloalkanes are highly reactive class of aliphatic compound. Aliphatic means open chain compound. Their reactivity is due to the presence of polar carbon halogen bond in their molecules. So this can be explained on the basis of the polarity of the CH bond. The chemical reactions of haloalkanes can be divided into 4 types. And the first is nucleophilic substitution reaction. The second is dehydrohalogenation, or this is also called as beta elimination reactions. And third is reactions with metals, and fourth is reduction. So in these 4 headings we will study about the chemical properties of the haloalkanes. So first we will study about the nucleophilic substitution reaction. As you already know about the nucleophiles. Nucleophiles are negatively charged species, or the which are having a lone pair of electron. Now due to the presence of partial positive charge on the carbon atom, the nucleophiles can attack on electron deficient carbon atom, thereby resulting in the displacement of weaker nucleophile. The halide ion is a weaker nucleophile, and that will be replaced by the strong nucleophile. For the nucleophilic substitution, we can write the definition. In the nucleophilic substitution reaction, a strong nucleophile substitute a weak nucleophile. In haloalkane, the halogen is a weak nucleophile, so it can be easily replaced by the other strong nucleophile. Thus, typical reactions of alkyl halides are nucleophilic substitution reactions. So the main reactions of the haloalkane are the substitution reaction. And now we can represent the general reaction of nucleophilic substitution. R for any alkyl radical, X for halogen. This is particularly for chlorine, bromine and iodine. And Z is a nucleophile. Then there the substitution of halogen atom by the nucleophile. So the product will be RZ plus the halide ion. This is a general reaction to represent the nucleophilic substitution reaction. And it must be noted that halide ions are substituted only if the attacking nucleophile is stronger than it. Since halide ion itself is very weak nucleophile, the attacking nucleophile is generally stronger than it. So the order of reactivity will be Ri, RVR, RCl and RF. On the basis of the size of halogen atom, we can say Ri bond is the longest one because the iodine is biggest in size, and that's why it is the weakest nucleophile and it can be easily substituted. So this can be explained on the basis of the size of the halogen atom. Then we will write some substitution, nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now the first is replacement by the hydroxyl group. Haloalkanes on treatment with aqueous solution of potassium hydroxide or moist silver oxide give alcohol. So when haloalkane react with the hydroxide and maybe aqueous KOH or moist silver oxide is converted into silver hydroxide. So then there is a substitution of halogen atom by the hydroxy group, and then the product is called an alcohol because the alcohol have the hydroxy group. So the product will be an alcohol. Now this is a reaction when ethyl bromide or bromoethane react with aqueous KOH, then bromine will be substituted by the hydroxy group and the product is ethanol or ethyl alcohol. Similarly, when we react with the moist silver oxide, then it is converted into again ethanol and then HBr will be formed. Now the second is a replacement by alkoxy group. Now the second nucleophilic substitution, the substitution of the halogen atom by the alkoxy group. And when the halogen atom is replaced by the alkoxy group, then the product form is called an ester. And the name of this reaction is Williamson synthesis. And in this Williamson synthesis, the haloalkanes on treatment with alcoholic sodium or potassium alkoxide form ethers. This reaction is also known as Williamson synthesis. So haloalkane when react with the sodium alkoxide, this is a salt of alcohol. Sodium alkoxide, then it forms the ether, ROR dash is ether. And its name is alkoxy alkane and then sodium halide. Now the example for it is C2H5Br when react with NaOC2H5, then the product is C2H5OC2H5 and its name is diethyl ether. So when haloalkane react with sodium alkoxide or the sodium salt of alcohol, then they form ether. The product will be an ether. So we can replace the halogen atom by the alkoxy group. Now the third is the replacement by cyano group. Haloalkanes on treatment with alcoholic Caesian solution gives alkane nitriles or alkyl cyanide as the major product with a small amount of alkyl isocyanide. So the reaction is Rx plus KCN, then the product will be RCN plus KX and its name is alkane nitrile. So now the example is when iodoethane or ethyl iodide react with KCN, it forms propane nitrile or ethyl cyanide. In IUPAC system, we have to do the numbering with this cyanide group also. This carbon atom will be number 1 carbon atom. So its name is propane nitrile. But when we write in terms of cyanide, then its name will be ethyl cyanide. So don't be confused to see this. So now the product will be alkane nitrile. So cyano group can be replaced by the, halogen atom can be replaced by the cyanide group and the product will be alkane nitrile. Now fourth is replacement with isocyanide group. We can also replace the halogen by the isocyanide group. On reaction with alcoholic silver cyanide solution, haloalkanes give alkyl carbylamine or alkyl isocyanide as the major product along with a small amount of alkyl cyanide. So when we do with the silver cyanide, the product will be isocyanide. It is also called as carbylamine. Now, ethyl chloride when react with AgCN, then it is converted into ethyl isocyanide. So, and these are the four substitution, nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now we'll see the next, and that is the fifth one, that is the replacement by amino group, and that is formation of amine. The name of this reaction is Hofmann's ammonolysis of alkyl halide. On heating haloalkane with alcoholic ammonia solution in a closed tube at 383 Kelvin, halogen is replaced by amino group to form primary amine. So haloalkane when heated with ammonia, then it is converted into primary amine, and then the hydrogen halide will form. So now we take one example, ethyl bromoethane when react with ammonia. First form ethanamine, or you can say aminoethane plus HBr, and this is a primary amine. This is a primary amine. In case haloalkane is in axis, the other two hydrogen atoms of amino groups are also replaced by alkyl groups, leading to the formation of secondary and tertiary amine that you can see here. Now when this primary amine react with the haloalkane, then it forms secondary amine, name is diethylamine. And when secondary amine reacts with the haloalkane or bromoethane, then it will form tertiary amine or trimethylamine. This is tertiary, that is represented by 3 degree. Now because the nitrogen has one lone pair of electron, it again reacts with one molecule of bromoethane and form quaternary ammonium salt. That is tetraethyl ammonium bromide. Now the sixth is replacement by nitro group. On treating an ethanolic solution of haloalkanes with silver nitride, nitroalkane is formed. It is due to the reason that the bond between AgO being covalent, the lone pair on nitrogen act as attacking site for nucleophilic substitution, and then there's a formation of nitroalkane. So nitroalkanes are formed here when we write with the ethyl bromide plus AgNO2, then nitroethane will form. The next is replacement by the nitrite group. On treating haloalkanes with potassium nitrite, alkyl nitrite is formed as a major product. It is due to the reason that bond between potassium and oxygen is ionic in nature. Therefore, negative charge on oxygen atom serves as attacking site, and then that's why a bond is formed between oxygen versus carbon, and then ethyl nitrite will form. So when we do with the silver nitrite, then there is a formation of nitro compound. When we do with the potassium nitrite, then the main product will be alkyl nitrite. So its name is ethyl nitrite. The next is the replacement by alkynyl group. On treating haloalkanes with sodium alkynide, that is R, this is NaC triple bond CH, this is sodium alkynide, higher alkynes are formed. The reaction can thus be employed for ascending of series. When we want to prepare higher alkynes, then we can use this reaction. Then haloalkane react with the sodium acetylide or sodium alkynide. Then you will get the higher alkynes, that is RC, and the number of carbon atom will be increased. This you can see here. When bromoethane react with sodium ethanide or sodium alkinide, then it is converted into but2ine, and there is increase in the number of carbon atom. 2 carbon atom is increased. So this reaction can be used to upgrade the carbon chain or increase in the number of carbon chain. The next is the replacement by carboxylate group or the formation of esters. Haloalkane on treatment with silver salt of carboxylic acid in ethanol gives ester. So this is a salt of the silver. Salts, when they are treated with haloalkane, then they are converted into ester and there is a formation of silver halide. So when ethyl bromide react with the silver acetate, this is a salt of silver of acetic acid, silver acetate, then it forms ethyl acetate and silver bromide. So these are the example of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Then we will study about the mechanism of nucleophilic substitution reaction.